Oh, I've got a cough on.
Not worth dying over, honestly. I mean, the puppeteering of that frog was dreadful, but that's what they chose to go with.
No, that
Barnsley frog.
that is a joke. Oh, topical.
Douglas Adams is spinning in his caravan.
Is it?
No, it's a static.
Hey!
Welcome,
Fucking hell.
ladies and gentlemen, to the last gasps of two dying men.
Yes.
Um,
It's been a long week for us both.
It has. In fact, it's been so long. The last episode you guys heard was 2 days prior to when we were recording this.
Yes.
It's been a 2-day week.
Yes.
So if you're thinking, why have they missed out on all the big news stories? One,
What
get
big news
stuff.
stories?
This is free. Stop complaining. Yeah. And two, busy week ahead, so recording this episode slightly early. But I'm not going to make any jokes about what predicted stories might happen, because the last time we did that, it happened.
Yeah,
And it wasn't a good one.
We can
Oh, do you know
never
what?
do
Okay.
that again.
Or unless, oh my god, I can't wait for us both to win the lottery this week.
Oh, what a good... Well, I can't wait to start playing the lottery this week.
Oh, damn, yeah.
That's a joke. Keeks plays it every week. She has an online account. She just sets the same numbers every week and checks it every now and again.
That's pretty good. I'm guessing it costs like each time.
Yeah. It's like a recurring
Fee.
thing. Actually, I don't know if she still does it. I don't know. I'm sure...
Have you won any rollovers lately?
Sorry, what?
Have you won any rollovers lately?
Definitely not.
Then she's probably not still playing.
The only rollovers that I've won are the one like those weird hot dogs you get in convenience stores.
Oh. Speaking of weird hot dogs you get in convenience
Weird
stores,
hot dogs?
this segue makes some sense.
What?
Speaking of weird hot dogs you get in convenience stores, I'm wearing a jock in this panto.
Are you indeed?
Yes. And it really does look like you've just stuffed a small, like, lump of linked sausages into a bag. It's not pleasant. But then it goes under several other layers, so I guess that's fine. For those not in the know, picture a thong. But a thong that doesn't go up between your buttocks. It has two straps that sort of cup the buttocks from the sides.
Oh.
And then you wear a costume over the top, but traditionally it's worn by dancers. So all that's over the top are the tights or the jazz pants, for example. That is what I am doing in Act 1 of our panto.
I love a set
Like
of jazz pants, said no one ever.
Oh my god, I know. So if you'd like to come and stare at my husband's bulge, ladies and gentlemen, you can go to newtheatreroyallincoln.co.uk and pick up your tickets for Snow White this Christmas until the 6th of January. Thank you
I
very
can't
much,
wait.
Husband's Bulge.
I can't wait to see your husband's bulge.
It's hilarious. I had a whole conversation today because we had the first dress rehearsal today.
Yes.
And excuse me. And we had a whole conversation about that outfit. It's for comedy purposes. I am in a very tight lycra sort of workout kind of outfit. Maybe not parodying a certain film about people who learn to dance because they want to find some level of notoriety.
I can't.
They want their monikers to be etched onto the memories of the future people. I'm really not trying to give it away by being really obvious at the same time.
Fabulous. Everything you're saying is wonderful.
They wish to exist over an extended period of time with no set finish date. They want to be educated on how to soar like the avian beasts. Verily, quite above that, even.
They want to have the X Factor, basically. It's an X Factor joke, right?
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, funny you should say that. There is a Britain's Got Talent bit in the set dressing in that section, so... Spoilers. But, so...
Hashtag
I had to wear quite a tight outfit. And we did the run, and... Basically, I came to the producer in the interval, and she said, "How do you feel it went?" I said, "Yeah, I felt it went really well. Can I bring up a genuine concern?" And she went, "What's that?" And I was still in that outfit at this point. I just sort of gestured downwards.
You told that story last week.
Oh yeah, But this is a week on, and there's not
Oh,
been any extra.
right,
layer
okay.
Yeah. So I said, like, we really need to look into getting a jock, I think, because I need to look more like an action man and not like I'm smuggling an action man.
Yeah, children are watching this. Children will
Yeah, because
be
that's the thing. That's the thing,
watching
boys and girls. Do not mistake me. I'm not bragging about penis size.
this.
I'm just saying people don't go to the theatre
No.
to look at a penis and go, I can see a penis. I'm supposed to be laughing at the funny man doing a dance.
People used to, but they don't. All those theatres have closed down now.
Or they're open and there's a no touching rule, but they still serve popcorn buckets and don't question anyone.
Breakfast buffet.
So they ran out and they went and got a jock and a couple of jock options.
Couple of jock options.
Oh yeah! And just before I started my bit in Act 2, I was like, I'm gonna try one on. I'm gonna put it on, but I'm gonna put it on over my boxers and just get a feel for it under my clothes.
Was it not like an eye test where they're just slipping them on and off? Number 1, number 2.
I mean, you say that, but I was given 2 to try.
Oh, fantastic!
2 that are mine, and I'm happy to say XL.
Oh,
the point is, again, not bringing up penis size. I have a large arse, but the point is,
not bragging about arse size, but I have a large. No.
Ooh. Not bragging about arse size, but mine's tight and would happily engorge a large peanut.
Oh no! You can't make jokes like that.
It's a good job. It's a good job. This is behind an explicit banner, isn't it?
No.
So
yeah, it makes all the difference.
I tried it on, and I said, "There's also a bit where I'm sat atop something in that costume."
Who were?
I don't want to spoil it, but there's something I'm sat atop something from a famous music video is recreated, and it means that I'm sat on something, and the bulk of it is between my legs. And I want to have kids one day. I'm not in a hurry, but I'd like to have them at some point. And I don't think I'll be able to have them.
It's fine. You'll have time to recover.
After 60 shows on this thing.
It'll be fine.
But it's one of those where they're like, oh, just go for it, it'll be a laugh. And then you go for it, and you come off and you go, no, I still have a bruised testicle. So do I have to do this 68 times? But I made a suggestion from that alone. I said, this jockstrap's a bit... It's fine. It's keeping everything contained and everything, but I just... In that scene, I'm really hurting myself. Can I stuff it? And they went, how do you mean? I said, just a stereotypical bundle of rolled up socks. I
just want to stuff it.
Yeah, because they've got, like, most of them, like, this is an athletics one, you see. And those ones have a pocket for a cup. Yeah. And I said, can I just stuff them? And they went, are you sure? And I went, right, okay. Yes, because A, it's going to save me some serious serious pain around my cack and balls.
Serious peen pain.
And, serious peen pain.
Yes,
thank you.
yes, see? That's why I work as a barista.
Talking to people about their peen. Beans and peens.
What would you like for your peen today? What flavour is your peen craving?
Oh, God, what... Wouldst thou prefer cinnamon or nutmeg for thy peen?
Oh, always cinnamon.
Maple peen.
Never nutmeg.
Oh god, peen syrup. But
wait, are we still talking about your jockstrap? Let's finish the jockstrap story so we can get onto what people come here for.
You mean they don't come here for my riveting weekly jockstrap story?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I mean, I do, but I'm not the rest of the audience.
You're the only audience I give a shit about. You're the only audience I can look at in the eyes when we're recording. I'm picturing them right now.
Oh,
I've drawn your face on the wall in my digs so I can look at you while we talk.
You know, they're going to charge you for that on the way out.
Let them do it. So I've left modern art on their wall. But yeah, so I said to him, we can get away with it on 3 simple premises, you see.
Yeah.
1... I am a fat man, and our producer, she's lovely. She went, "Don't say that." And I was like, "No, like I am. Like that is just a fact.
I am a fat man,
and a fat man in lycra is immediately very funny."
Yes, just ask Jim Sterling.
I would rather the comedy dust. I would rather the comedy come from fat man in lycra than fat man in lycra and oh look, we can see his penis. Do you know what I mean?
I know you mean, man. I know you mean.
So I was like, let's just, let's make sure that attention's not being completely drawn away because of an awkward bulge. 2, that means we have to own the bulge. And there is something inherently funny about the, unfit person looking like they are well endowed. Because it's that play on the whole, like, fat guy with hot wife American sitcom trope thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just an extra bit of comedy. Anyone who spots a big bulge on that costume will go, oh, that's hilarious. And you say, why that's hilarious? And they're too embarrassed to answer. But it's because they're thinking, he can't get a woman, but he's got a big cock. Like, do you know what I mean? It's subtext comedy. Like, it's just there. Point number 3, point 2.5, I realise I've said cock in this episode more than we've ever said it in the history of the 2+ years. But point number 3, she was like, well, I'm still a bit unsure. And I said, it's a delicate balance, but I understand the difference. It's funny if in a pantomime your character has a large bulge in their pants as part of their tight costume. It's not funny in a pantomime if your character looks like they've got a hard-on. That's not funny, because that's the one that will get complaints. So I said, don't worry, I'm not sticking a banana in there. Or a freaking drumstick. Like, I'm putting...
Oh, can you...
I'm putting ball of socks.
Can you imagine a sweaty crotch banana? That is just unpleasant.
You mean you don't have them?
No, I don't keep any of my bananas in my crotch.
You're missing out.
Oh, is that...
Sorry, I am eating fried rice. I'm not nibbling on the jockstrap.
No, all the crotch banana.
Yeah.
The sweaty crotch banana.
Let's see how you deal with this.
Oh,
but
probably not very well.
Crotch bananas. Can you think of one?
Nope. Speaking of crotch bananas, let's talk about another bad decision.
That'll do. That's beautiful.
So
that's beautiful. I'm going to applaud with paper.
Oh, fantastic! Sounds like you're on fire. Radio sound effects. These sound effects come courtesy of the BDC Radiophonic Workshop.
Nicely done.
Hey, see, I thought so.
This is why they pay you some bucks.
Yeah, okay.
I said that today in front of my employers. That wasn't funny.
Oh,
because I realised they were in the room. I was like,
that's why they pay me
One of them said, "Well, the third lot, Chris, are going to begin with F." And I was like, "Okay, well played, well played,
okay,
good sir."
Okay, I see. Anyway, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Beasts and where to find
them. So we talked a bit about the Netflix Marvel shows on this show. We've praised them. We've slagged them off.
A few weeks ago, we had a hearty conversation about how they'd made a terrible decision to cancel two of the shows that were doing very well.
Well, I don't think Iron Fist was doing very well.
One of the shows that was doing very well.
Well, I don't know if Luke Cage was doing very well. It was doing pretty well, certainly.
Well, one of the shows that we wanted to get coffee with.
Yeah, damn right. And, the second season of that left itself in a... From what I gather, the second season of Iron Fist left itself in a very interesting place, as well as Luke Cage. But the fact that we didn't see those shows... Well, I saw season 2 of Luke Cage, but neither of us watched season 2 of Iron Fist, so I think that says a lot about why those were cancelled. And now the news has come out that there is not going to be a season 4 of Daredevil. Netflix...
What the bumbling fuck?
Netflix are not continuing with that series, despite, I think it was the week before last, Eric Olson, the showrunner, pitched season 4 to them. And then this week it's come out that they're not going to be continuing Daredevil.
What?
So, however,
no.
So there's a couple of statements that are out there. First one,
there's not been any big official one, as they have like, here's the deal.
No, well, Netflix have said to Deadline, in a statement given to Deadline, they said Marvel's Daredevil will not return for a 4th season on Netflix. We are tremendously proud of the show's last and final season. I understand what they said there, but that just makes it sound like they've used the same word twice. And although it's painful for the fans, we feel it best to close this chapter on a high note. We're thankful to our partners at Marvel, showrunner Eric Olson, the The show's writers, stellar crew, and incredible cast, including Charlie Cox as Daredevil himself, and we're grateful to the fans who have supported the show over the years.
Over the when?
The years. Whilst the series on Netflix has ended, the 3 existing seasons will remain on the service for years to come, while the Daredevil character will live on in future projects for Marvel. So, but Marvel Television and Netflix, they still have a 3rd season of Jessica Jones and a 2nd season for The Punisher. Those are confirmed. Those, I think, I'm not sure if either of them have wrapped yet, but they've certainly started filming. And, yes, Marvel has not made a formal statement regarding Netflix's decision. However, Marvel's Twitter account for the show posted an image, which is a reference to the final episode of Season 3. Mm-hmm. So a Polaroid of Matt, Karen, and Foggy, with "Justice Never Stops" written beneath it, and a napkin with Nelson, Murdoch, and Page written on it.
Right.
Okay. And they've also come out and said, I can't remember where the thingamabob came out, the statement came out. I can't remember whereabouts it came out, but someone at Marvel somewhere has since said that there will be more adventures with the Man Without Fear.
Right.
But that's not a confirmation of, yes, we're doing this version of Daredevil over at Disney Plus.
Yeah, no, it could be, we're doing a Marvel Knights, adult animated short. Or, it's not a confirmation of this continuation. Which sucks, because there are some fantastic characters and casting and fantastic stories told with these versions of the characters.
There are...
And it would suck if the MCU extended project began to fall apart now.
There are 3 plot threads left. Well, not hanging, but 3 plot threads that at the end of Season 3 that will be picked up in Season 4 that I would be intrigued to see. Mm-hmm. Possibly 4, actually. But there are things going on that I would like to see followed up.
Are we thinking, considering Jessica Jones and Punisher's fates will be unannounced for a time being, because it seems to be a more positive spin as far as networks concerned nowadays, to let a season go out and then announce cancellation of a show instead of doing it mid-season, which a lot of American networks do, and it upsets people a lot. Whereas Netflix always tend to announce the cancellations a few weeks after, a recent release of something.
Possibly.
The Get Down was meant to be a 2-part season. A 2-part film.
Yeah, and they just pulled it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They released the first one, and then a month later announced that the second one was never coming out. It's
It's weird. Weird.
It's very odd, but I think they do it because they kind of hope that would be enough damage control. When it really isn't.
And that's another series that's not happening.
Especially, oh god.
Hey.
Do you know what I mean? Especially where the shows are beloved. I wouldn't be surprised. What's first? Punisher Season 2, I think's first, isn't it? I wouldn't be surprised if after that we got the announcement that Punisher was cancelled as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if we got the announcement after Jessica Jones Season 3 goes out. I
was honestly surprised that Punisher got a Season 2.
It was harrowing as fuck.
I mean, I'm glad it did, because I like that show. And now we can do the whole Jigsaw thing.
Welcome Back, Frank would be lovely.
Welcome Back, Frank, maybe not, but even so.
I'd be game for that, just as an excuse to watch him punch a polar bear in a TV show. I want to watch Tom punch a polar bear.
Yeah, that's very good.
That would be pretty sweet. But Frank quietly has to come in just to direct that moment.
No, well, that wasn't Frank Quietly. That was Steve Dillon, the late Steve Dillon.
Oh, Steve Dillon, of course. Yeah, Steve Dillon. Oh, in that case, bit impossible.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Well, then they've got to stick to Steve Dillon's illustrations because, my God, that.
Does that mean everyone's going to have the same face, though?
That polar bear's face. I'd say don't speak ill of the dead, but you're right. They all have the same face. They do have the.
I mean, I like Steve Dillon's art a lot, but everyone kind of has the same face.
scenes of Wolverine and Darken from Darken's like debut.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, who am I looking at in close up? My God. But yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if Jessica Jones was cancelled, because I'm gonna say it now. The cancellation of Daredevil, about a month after the cancellation announcements of Luke Cage and Iron Fist, I'm starting to think there's a plan here now.
I'm also starting to think that there's a plan here.
Yeah, Disney streaming service, which I believe is now called Disney Plus.
Disney Plus is the confirmed name for the Disney streaming service, and they've already got... So they've got 2 live-action Star Wars shows confirmed.
The Mandalorian.
And
the as yet untitled adventures of vaguely boring Spanish man.
Yes. They've also got... I think it's been confirmed they've got a Loki show with Tom Hiddleston.
Loki's confirmed.
There's rumours of a Scarlet Witch show, or Scarlet Witch Vision.
Yeah. A Bucky and Falcon show.
Mm-hmm.
I'd seen rumblings earlier in the week that like another plan for the Inhumans is underfoot.
Yeah.
But it'd be a recontextualizing, so it'd be taking 4 or 5 of those key characters and putting them in a different setting.
It would just be. Just reboot it, like, straight up. Just reboot the damn thing. Because no one watched it. No one's gonna know.
But cast Ramsay Bolton as everyone.
Yes.
And make it like a Steve Dillon live-action show.
Yes.
They've all got the same face. So this stuff's going on, like, they're going hard. And you know full well that the Star Wars series will be family... suitable, but not necessarily made for family viewing.
My main concern with I have 2 concerns with the Netflix stuff moving. If it does indeed move, they might just make a fresh start. But if it does move to Disney Plus, my first concern is the whole death of 1,000 streaming services business, which we've talked about before. Just endless companies $7.99 a month thing to death. But also, one of the great things about the Netflix Marvel shows is that they are harder in tone and content than the movies. The movies are mostly family friendly, and certainly teen friendly, whereas the TV shows have a much harder edge, deal with heavier issues, much more violent. Not that violence makes something inherently better, but it doesn't shy away from violence.
It's able to tell those more mature or uncomfortable stories of the Marvel Universe that do exist.
Which has lent itself to characters like Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, the Punisher, etc.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Iron Fist, but who cares about Iron Fist?
We do, just not this one.
Nope. So, I would worry that if that moves to Disney Plus, then they would tone that down. Because...
Unless Disney Plus hurry the heck up and go, hey everyone, guess what? Part of the service will be an adult-oriented, blocked from your kids selection of 15 plus entertainment.
Disney do produce stuff that isn't family and kid aimed. It's just they do it under the names of different studios.
Like Touchstone and Miramax and stuff.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff they made throughout the 90s especially that was not for kids. And if they have that library and they want to convince parents to buy that streaming service, like a lot of parents will get it anyway because they'll be like, oh, shut the kids up. But it's like, they'll be more enthusiastic about it if they know there's going to be a bunch of stuff for them on there too.
You'd think.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. It's a weird time. It is a weird time for the old internets and medias and stuff. So I honestly do not know what to think.
But goodbye, Daredevil, for now.
Goodbye. Yeah, Daredevil was pretty consistently good. So it's sad to see it go.
They just need to put D'Onofrio in a Spider-Man movie.
Hey, he's not ruling it out. He's not ruling it out.
He's campaigning for it,
and
I'd even say. Whenever it's brought up, he's like, tell Marvel.
Yeah, I'll do it. And by the same token, I think the Russo brothers have talked about wanting to bring Daredevil into Infinity War, but not being able to. And I think that conversation's happened before as well.
Yeah.
So I think that the desire to do it is there, but the ability to do it in terms of matching up schedules, licensing everything, just the timing of it, I think is what's holding them back. But
holy shit, I've just had a thought.
Oh, Christ.
No, based on that, though, like, I'm not saying it's as simple as this, but higher-ups don't think in terms of humanity and regular jobs and employment.
I mean, higher-ups don't think.
That's true. Hashtag rehire James Gunn.
Yeah.
But the point is...
Well, that ship sailed.
Yeah, well, yeah. But what if... And I don't think this would be, like, the be-all, end-all plan, but it certainly is part of it. We're about to get to a big shift in the MCU.
Yeah.
A very big shift.
A very big shift.
We're about to lose a bunch of characters simply contractually. Some will be written out, some will be killed off.
Well, we're definitely going to lose Cap. We're almost definitely going to lose Iron Man. We might not lose Thor.
Oh, no, we definitely won't lose Thor. After Ragnarok, I think Thor's got legs. I mean, Cap and Iron Man have got legs, but it's more a case of they've come to the end of their contracts plus one movie in Chris Evans.
Those actors have both...
Plus like 3 movies in Downey Jr.'s deal.
I think both those actors are ready to move on, and they haven't been shy about saying that.
Yeah, and they've also been quite open about how much, they're going to miss it, and they genuinely do love it, but it's time, and it's like, fair.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna make Chris Evans be Captain America. I mean, look at him. Look at him. Do you think it's
yes, sir.
easy or natural to maintain that sort of physique? It's
I don't
not.
Care. I'll follow him wherever. I'll follow him to Beer Gut and beyond.
That will do him some damage if he doesn't take it down a notch,
And then we'd never get the musical tour because you've seen Hugh Jackman's doing a world tour next year. Doing big. Oh my god!
Yeah,
like, smart ass decision.
Yeah,
because he loves doing it, and people will definitely pay out the fucking.
I think when Les Mis came out, I think there was a bunch of people who had forgotten or just didn't know to start with that Hugh Jackman started as a song and dance man. Like, that's his background. He's a Broadway guy.
Throughout the 2000s, between American blockbusters, he was going back to Australia and just like being a headliner in musicals.
Yeah, like
mid Wolverine. But so maybe we'll get there with Chris Evans. But so we're about to have a big shift, and keep in mind, 4 and a bit years back, we were shown the plan for Phase 3.
Yeah.
I mean, we have no idea what's beyond Avengers 4 in terms of the structure.
I think they're deliberately keeping that close to the chest as well.
Well, we know Far From Home's likely next.
Yes.
We now know Black Panther 2 is happening with Ryan Coogler at the helm.
Yes.
Scott Derrickson has been very open about talking about a Doctor Strange sequel, and Marvel are keen.
Yes.
And it's looking more and more likely that we're going to get a space saga in some form, considering Guardians 3 is not likely to happen.
I think
the groundwork they'll have already laid, they will utilise.
I think the latest scuttlebutt that was that they were courting Travis Knight for Guardians 3. So depending on how Bumblebee goes, that might be interesting to see. We don't know.
But we don't know what the slate is for sure. And 2-3 years ago, we were gloried with this wonderful present of, here's the next 9 films, guys.
But I think even
a 10th one snuck in, and one of them became a TV series. But it was like, that's amazing.
Even in
it was a statement of intent, that though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was, look what we've got. Thank you for sticking with us. We're carrying on the experiment. Here's what we've got. I'm wondering whether plans have been afoot for a while, and they can't say anything until it's done. If you want to keep people going, and you want to make sure people are invested, because you know that when like Stark leaves and Cap leaves and stuff, there are going to be people who go, "Oh, I'm kind of done now. Oh, that was fun, but I'm not going to go watch the rest. I'm not going to follow them as much as I used to."
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
How do you keep the stories living on past the characters that people fell in love with to start with?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't hurt to bring in characters that everyone loves but feels haven't had a chance to tell a big story.
Yeah. I can see where you're going with that. For sure.
I would be fucking delighted if they suddenly announce, and we know that they can play wild cards now. We know they can do wild cards. Like, we've seen it happen with Ant-Man, with Guardians. Like, they do it now like it's fucking butter and toast. It's like so easy to them. At this
I mean,
point.
there's very heavy rumours, if not actually confirmed, they're looking at an Eternals movie.
Well, there you go.
You know, that talk about deep cuts.
But it wouldn't hurt to suddenly go, hey, everyone. You guys feel like there's not enough representation in this genre. And you also really fucking love that Netflix show, didn't you? Hey, guess what? Heroes for Hire in the slate 2020. Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Misty Knight. Do you know what I mean? Just like, fucking hell. And, who's the breakout character from Iron Fist?
Colleen Wing.
Colleen Wing. Like, if you announced that, I think people would lose their shit and go, oh my god, yes, please.
Yeah.
Like, and you play on the humor. You make it a bit older. Like, you're restricting them slightly, but you're not making as many sacrifices with that as you would with, say, Jessica Jones or The Punisher.
Yeah.
Like, you could put the MCU, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist into a 12A certificate movie and it wouldn't feel too jarring.
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah. Iron Fist more than the others.
Yeah.
Like, Iron Fist,
again,
out of those characters, Iron Fist is the one you could easily slot into a family-friendly movie.
But, you know, if you're going to bring Iron Fist, you should probably bring Luke Cage as well. And Colleen and Misty. And fuck it, throw Nelson and Murdoch in there. Like, throw them into the mix of that and use that as a platform to go forward. And do you know what I mean? Like, because they've definitely been testing. They've been testing their outer space stuff.
Yeah.
But they've been really testing their ground level, street level stuff as well.
Oh yeah,
on
definitely.
The big screen now, like the Ant-Man sequel. You know, we've done Infinity War, and then the immediate follow up is a wacky caper, like with frickin' what's his face, Walter Goggins, running around with truth serum and a bag, and what the fuck's happening here? So I wouldn't put it past them to go, here's Eternals, and here's a fucking Defenders spin-off. Do you know what I mean? Like, now's the time.
Well, here's an like original comics Defenders spin-off with Doctor Strange and Hulk and Namor and Valkyrie.
Oh god, yes. Maybe that's the next step. Maybe that's the next stage for Thor. You stick Thor in that lineup and you turn the Thor franchise into that. You bring those characters along.
What if the next step for Thor is doing the female Thor storyline or a version of it, but with Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie as Thor?
Yeah, it's not going to be Natalie Portman. She fucking jogged on.
Yeah. Also, that wouldn't be. I don't think that'd be any good.
No, very true.
Like, just straight up.
Do you know what else might not be good?
What? Tell me what might not be good. This is a surprise topic. Yeah.
Oh, well, no, it is on the docket. Good stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know.
A dirty beef.
But I don't know anything about it other than the fact that you've put it on the docket.
Jock straps. Where do we stand? No. Oh god. June 21st, 2019.
Yes.
Sees the release.
That's a date.
Two big studio motion pictures.
Two? What are they?
One is a hotly anticipated revisit to a beloved franchise.
Yes.
And one is a hotly not anticipated revisit to a beloved franchise.
Ooh, which one's which? Goody gumdrops.
Well, one features a talking doll, best friend of a child, who comes to life when no one's looking and gets up to all sorts of shenanigans. And one is about a talking doll who's a boy's best friend who comes to life when no one's looking and commits a murder. Now,
that's the plot of Toy Story 4.
It is. Woody commits a murder in Toy Story. He pushes Buzz out of a window. He's a freaking murderer.
Woody? He did. I saw it.
He did, and he made that face. And freaking that toy company, Reveltech, took an image of that face and decided that was the spare face on their toy.
Yeah. Why not?
Was born.
Why not?
Yeah, Child's Play, the remake, and Toy Story 4 are going head to head. And Child's Play have not been shy about it recently. For those who don't know, we've talked about it on the show before. I'm a massive fan of Child's Play. I hooked Matt up like some kind of creepy enabler.
Oh yeah,
last year.
I've been Child's Played.
We watched the shit out of that.
Yeah,
that series.
Boy.
The series is continuing. Don Mancini has a TV series in development, currently called Child's Play. I wouldn't be surprised if he renamed it.
Yeah.
And has plans for a 7th installment of the ongoing new... Sorry, the 8th installment of the ongoing... No, wait, hang on. Yes, 8th.
Hang on.
Of the
1, 2,
ongoing...
3. Bride, Seed, Curse Cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be the 8th.
He has plans to continue it and into that straight to DVD franchise, of which the last 2 have been fantastically mad entries. One really creepy dark one that was probably the best film in the series, and one really fucking bonkers one that takes advantage of the premise of the series.
Oh, Cult of Chucky is great.
It's so much fun, like really, really fucking.
It's
bizarre.
bonkers. I like it a lot.
But the weird thing is, Universal own the rights to the franchise. MGM hold the rights to the first movie. It was released through MGM, and then Universal took up the baton from number 2 onwards.
Yeah.
So even though original series creator Don Mancini is the man steering the ship for the Child's Play franchise, for years MGM and the associate studios it's worked with have wanted to release a remake of the original. Not because they have a unique story to tell per se, although the screenwriters that have come in to make it may have, but because they want to use brand recognition to sell tickets. So certain things they're allowed to use include the name Child's Play. They're allowed to use the tagline, "He wants you for a best friend." They're allowed to use the generic yellow and red packaging designs for all of their doll stuff.
Yeah.
They're allowed to use the look of Chucky, and they're allowed to call the main villain Chucky. So that's what's happening. They are getting really cocky with Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4's clips and teasers have started coming out.
Yeah.
And the Child's Play movie account has officially opened on Twitter as of a couple of weeks back.
Alright, I'm going to go look this up now.
Yeah, they keep tweeting Toy Story. They keep retweeting Toy Story or tweeting at them. Someone, Toy Story 4's account tweeted out, Toy Story 4 opens in theatres June 21st, 2019. And Child's Play movie retweeted it with the caption, "See you then, friend," and a knife emoji.
Hey.
Yeah. Feels a bit dirty, that, doesn't it? Feels a bit weird.
I just feel a little bit dirty. Not quite as dirty as looking up Child's Play on Twitter, but, you know.
But it doesn't feel tongue-in-cheek, does it? It just feels kind of odd. Yeah, it just keeps doing... Like, again, Rotten Tomatoes, the world is a pretty big place for a toy, Toy Story 4. They post the first teaser poster for Toy Story 4. And the Child's Play account retweets it with "so many friends to make, ... and a knife." It's like, this is odd. Like, why would you do this? This seems so strange. Now, some people have faith in this upcoming remake because it's from the producers of It.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's the producers with the creative vision of It.
Oh,
it could just be the people who put the money into it. What?
I'm just looking at the Child's Play movie, like teaser thingamabob. The
that's
Twitter.
The next thing.
The
next thing.
No, I don't like this.
The original film is about psycho murderer, the Lakeshore Strangler, Charles Lee Ray, being tracked down by a cop on the night of a heinous crime, of which we learn about finally in Curse of Chucky. He's shot and killed in a toy store. And in his dying breath, he seemingly chants something and passes away. Andy Barclay's mum, Karen, a few weeks later, buys the Good Guy doll, the really expensive popular toy, off of a drifter out the back of her department store.
Yeah.
Who'd taken one from the wreckage. Because she really wants to get it Andy for his 6th birthday, even though it's really expensive. She can't afford it. She's a single mum. She works really hard, but she just can't splash out. So she buys it cheaply off the peddler. And Andy really makes fast friends with this Child's Play, with this Good Guy doll, which is called Chucky. They've all got different names, they all talk, they all have a set amount of phrases. It's the 80s, Cabbage Patch Kids and shit are all the rage. And she, gets it home, and weird shit starts to happen. The babysitter gets murdered. Bizarre things start to happen in the house. And it looks, and the film's framed in such a wonderful way, that on first viewing, if you knew nothing about it, it could be the story of a child that has a deeply rooted psychological issue, who's lashing out. and pretending this doll's telling him to do it. About 55 minutes in, the movie finally gives you a fucking bone and reveals that, no, this doll's alive, and it's Charles Lee Ray. He's inside the doll. It's his way of surviving. And
it's very cramped in there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He turns more and more human. Like, he becomes that body the longer he's in there, unless, before it's too late, he transfers his soul into the only person who knows who he really is. The first person he told, which is Andy. So it's a race against time with Karen and I can't remember his name now, but Chris Sarandon's character,
Prince Humperdinck.
Yeah, sure. You're not wrong, but it's a race against time for them to get to Chucky before Chucky gets to Andy and does the ritual and basically is reborn.
Do the ritual! Do the ritual!
Originally, Don Mancini's script was about a factory worker who'd murdered a bunch of people.
Ooh.
And then committed suicide in the factory.
Ooh.
And he dies in the machinery.
I'd watch that.
As a doll is made as part of their stuff. And the doll eventually wakes and is conscious. And it was this whole thing of, like, the film was... Because his original two ideas, that was one of them. And the other one was that it was Andy Barclay committing murders and the film was going to make you think it was a living doll film. And in the end, he decided to merge the two. And someone, I think it was David Kirshner, threw in the voodoo angle.
Yeah.
And that shaped what the series became. Which I'm sure Don Mancini's very grateful for, considering the stories it's allowed him to tell as the series has gone on.
Yeah, that's been pretty good.
It looks like this film is going off the basis of one corrupt toy. This week, they have confirmed through promos and website stuff that the doll will be called Chucky.
Mm-hmm.
It will be a killer doll. But it's no longer a good guy, Matt. It's a buddy.
A best buddy.
A best buddy, spelled B-U-D-D-I, and the I has a Wi-Fi symbol for the dot of the I.
They're voice activated. Wi-Fi compatible.
Yeah. Yeah. He wants you for a best friend. Oh, listen to that. Look at how happy that sounds.
That's horrifying.
Look at him, he's playing with a drone. When he blinks, his eyes go slightly red because he's got cameras in them.
Okay.
So now, PlayPal toys are gone. It's Kazlan Industries. Is that right? Kazlan Industries?
I think so. Kazlan or Kazlan Techno.
Kazlan Toys.
Kazlan Corp.
That's the one. You can see there's a teaser poster as well of what looks like an empty factory warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit of a boring poster, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
So it is a technologically advanced doll, as the previous rumours confirmed. They've also released a few plot details. Your main characters are going to be Aubrey Plaza as whoever this character, basically the character replacing Karen Barclay.
Yeah.
And there is a strong cast of a few kids. So which makes me think that this is maybe not the creative producer of it, more the producer who went, that made money. Make it about
it's got lots of kids in it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised. Yeah. The doll is called Chucky, but it is a buddy doll, not a good guy doll. It can connect to things. Wi-Fi compatible. In an image from one of the set designers, they saw in a factory setting underneath the buddy box, there was a box for Buddy 2. Which appears to be a bear.
Okay.
A puppeteer from the set posted a photo at one point of them rigging up the animatronics for what looks like a bear doll in dungarees with freaky long arms.
I mean, I don't hate it.
Yeah, but why is it child's play? That's my question. It sounds like we're dealing with a technologically advanced doll, which, spoiler alert, kids don't play with them anymore. At least not in the way they did in the 80s, or in the way that this doll is based. It's not a thing. It's not the same. Kids do play with action figures and dolls, but not these kinds of toys.
Yeah, well, it'll be.
If you said to a kid, it's a 2 foot tall, cuddly doll with freckles and big fluffy hair, and he's your friend to the end. And you also said, by the way, you can control this BB-8 drone with your phone. I think the kid would probably go for the second one nowadays.
Well, they'd just be playing Fortnite.
That's true. They would pwn those noobs.
They would pwn those noobs. It's true.
I've had to learn some of the moves because it makes people laugh when I slip them into the panto quietly. Yeah, I hate myself, but
I hate you too.
Oh, thanks, Bay. But yeah, the horror fan in me and the animatronics puppeteer fan in me is intrigued.
Would you say the horror fan in you is horrified?
I guess. I mean, the best response to it, they confirmed a couple months back when we first talked about it. That was when they confirmed that, yes, this not only is this happening, we've started shooting. Here's a teaser image of the doll. And a couple days went by without any comment on social media from Don Mancini, the series creator and current head of the Child's Play franchise, not this remake.
Yeah.
And he just posted a picture of Mariah Carey with the caption, "I don't know her," which I thought was kind of great. He's very sassy, but you know, it's like, I mean, it's gonna hurt for him to talk about. This is his baby, and someone else, like they're his toys, and someone else is playing with them in a way that is so surface level the same property.
Yeah, it's not cool,
but it's different enough that it makes you go, why not just make a new thing?
Is there precedent for there being like two franchises going from the same point at the same time? Like, has there ever been like a franchise that has been simultaneously sequelized and or remade by two different companies?
I think that, I'm sure we've spoken about this before. I think it's possible that there has been, but
I know franchises have changed hands a lot, like in between sequels.
Yeah, the only one I can think of is I think it was just after, but like we're talking not long after Psycho 4: The Beginning.
Yeah,
the TV movie Bates Motel premiered, and it was essentially the exact same story, but the continuity was different. And they both had Anthony Perkins in them.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's odd. And Psycho 4: The Beginning kind of told that story as well. But they weren't like exactly the same.
No.
I guess.
No.
It's, you know, it's an odd duck. I mean, outside of animated series kind of dealios, because, you know, you've got, you have your Spider-Man Homecoming at the same time as, Marvel Spider-Man's on Disney XD, which is a complete reboot after Ultimate Spider-Man, which crossed over with Ultimate Spider-Man, which subtly crossed over with Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and then directly crossed over with Avengers Assemble, despite the fact that Ultimate Spider-Man had versions of the characters from the Avengers cartoons that were different from the Avengers cartoons.
Let's not get into modern Marvel animation. It's not worth it.
There's fucked up continuity, but you're right. I don't think there's ever been something like this. I mean, there's definitely been franchises returning to replace the new version.
Oh yeah, we've just had it with Halloween.
Yeah, twice we've had it.
Yeah.
In many ways, I suppose. Yeah, because the prequel series the remake series replaced the ongoing semi-reboot stories.
Yeah.
And then we have the brand new one, which ignores everything apart from number one. So yeah, it just strikes me as odd. I'm slightly biased, of course, because I love the series, but I can't fathom it. It's so transparently, we want to sell tickets on name recognition.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's kind of gross because of that.
But then
it's so obvious.
It always would be. Like it always would be that. That is the whole point of doing a remake. So much of marketing is driven
unless
by...
you have a filmmaker who really cares, who just has a different take on the story.
But unless they can convince an exec about the name recognition sort of / nostalgia bit, they're never going to get it made.
True that.
Right, we need to move on because we've got to keep this one moving.
Like my penis.
Because you are... No, not like your penis. You don't want your penis to move. You want it to stay
like
static.
Penis?
It depends on how the Chinese reacts with you. You mentioned that you wanted to talk briefly about the early reaction to Into the Spider-Verse, which is out next week.
Yeah, I think it's the 12th for the UK's its official release.
I'm going to try and catch an early screening on the 7th, but I don't know if I'll be able to yet.
Well, I'm happy to report, sir, that early reactions based around press screenings, critic screenings, and the world premiere, which was yesterday, are that it is the best Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Hands down, the best Spider-Man movie.
Well, I think the New York Critics Circle have named it the best animated movie of the year.
And Lord and Miller's involvement, of course, has always been a nice sign of quality, but they're really banking on that now to represent the response, because so many of the quotes the last few days have been from the people who brought you the Lego Movie and the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah.
Now, it's really weird to see the word Batman in a Spider-Man trailer, but it's Lego Batman. And it looks like it's done the same thing. It's a love letter to these characters and the world they inhabit, and specifically that character's ideology and his story.
Yeah.
And how it is a legacy story, and how Miles is very much his own thing. Like, Miles is, according to the responses so far, hands down is the main character.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not under question at all, despite the later trailers obviously indulging in Peter a little bit more to kind of go, hey, motherfuckers, Peter Parker is straight up in this film.
And also showing us the other spider people.
Yes. But responses have been phenomenal. Like, absolutely phenomenal. Movie Bob's has been hilarious. He said it's the best Spider-Man movie in 14 years. And of course, everybody's coming at him going, what about Homecoming? I really like Homecoming. It's like, look, whether you like Homecoming or not, the man is entitled to say he thinks this is the best Spider-Man movie since Spider-Man 2.
And also, anyone who's followed Bob's work knows that he wasn't massively keen on Homecoming, which is fair enough.
Which is fair enough. But he's not being mean in it in that statement. He's just saying, for his money, the best Spider-Man movie was Spider-Man 2, and this is the first one since that has been of that caliber. Also,
it's similar to like people going to bat for the DCEU movies. You don't have to go to bat for Spider-Man Homecoming. It's fine.
Yeah,
like
it's not under threat. It's got a great reception. It has a fantastic villain.
You don't need to defend it. I think it does a good job of defending itself with all the money it made.
Is this the start of a new subgenre, do you think? This is the sort of the solidification of it, of the spin-offs and the to-the-side glances at these characters.
Maybe. I think that audiences...
Because this is the third now. This is the third in as many years where it's got such an overwhelming response. Lego Batman movie.
Yeah.
Teen Titans Go to the movies. And now Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I mean, this is undoubtedly the more, for lack of a better term, straight take on it all.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a comedy movie.
I think audiences are certainly getting more used to the idea of films films using the same characters in different universes and settings, for want of a better word. So it wouldn't surprise me to see more of this thing going forward.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm gay. And if it means that, because I do love the MCU, and I love that the fact that it is a very openly coexisting storyline for all of them. They're all their individual movies, with a couple of exceptions that are big gang bang, look at what we've done, isn't this cool film?
Yeah.
But like, it is refreshing as well in that to have options to enjoy these characters without worrying about whether you've missed something.
Yeah.
It's a very, very cool like thought, which is why Lego Batman movie was so wonderful, because even in that you didn't have to see the Lego movie to get it. Like, the only connection it had with it was a little subtle visual nod to the conclusion of the Lego movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Will Arnett returning to voice Batman.
Yeah,
that was it. And that works so well. And people do love Spider-Man, but I imagine there are Spider-Man fans who aren't fussed about the MCU who went to see Homecoming and was like, wait, what? What's happening? I
think also with a character like Spider-Man and like Batman with the Lego Batman movie, is that those are characters that are so firmly entrenched in the cultural consciousness that you don't need to worry about setup. Which is why, you know, the superhero origin movie became so ubiquitous for a while there. Although I think we've kind of moved past that now. So I think, if you're going to see that more of that sort of spin-off side story kind of thing happening, you're going to see it with characters like Batman, Spider-Man, etc., etc.
They're the modern Tarzan, the modern Dracula. Everyone knows who they are.
Apart from the fact that Disney's holding on to them fucking copyrights. Warner Brothers is holding on to them fucking copyrights so tightly.
Yeah, oh yeah, not everyone's going to be making movies.
That shit ain't never going public domain.
Or is it? It's not.
No, never.
So yeah, I mean, but I mean, you've got to tell me what if you make it to Friday.
Yeah.
To that screening, not in general. My God, if you make it to that screening, I want to hear the juicy goss. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I want to hear what it is.
I will endeavour to do so, and I will bring you that news next week. Also, also next week is the final episode of this season of Doctor Who. So, in anticipation for that, let's talk about what we thought of this week's episode.
It takes you away.
It takes you away. I think it was another very strong week for Doctor Who. What do you think, Christopher?
Batshit mental.
Oh, it was absolutely bonkers.
I enjoyed it, but I'll be honest. I think its identity crisis upset me a bit. It kind of changed genres twice.
See, I love genre blending, so that shit's right up my alley. I'm down for that.
But I'm a sucker for a cabin in the woods story, and we started with that.
Yeah,
and right into once we spoiler alert for the Doctor episode, it takes you away. Right down to them going into the what was the in between bit?
The anti-zone.
The anti-zone. Right down to them going into the anti-zone and meeting about frickin' time Kevin Eldon. The moment Ribbon started speaking, I was like, oh my God, it's Kevin Eldon. He's made it. He's in the show. Brilliant.
Hey!
He can now ascend to the heavens, having been in every British show ever. Only guy to be in Game of Thrones twice as two separate characters. True story. Like, you knew they ran out of actors they were going to fucking ask to apply for jobs when they reused Kevin Eldon. It was like, oh, right, that's it. They're circling back. Mm-hmm. Richard E. Grant's going to rock up at some point in a mustache. Like, they're just gonna go through everybody.
Oh,
again.
that'd be good.
Yeah, like right down to the inclusion of ribbons, I was like, oh, this is creepy as.
Mm-hmm.
And then instead it becomes a weird sort of soft-core sci-fi emotional gut punch.
You know what it was?
That then starts to explain itself and becomes much more complicated.
You know what the whole thing was?
Twin Peaks meets Cabin in the Woods?
The whole thing was a metaphor or an allegory for a toxic relationship.
Yes, it was. And that, in terms of its actual, like, its core, like, having seen it all the way through, I think what it did was very impressive. But I'm a sucker for Doctor Who taking on certain concepts, and it makes me sad because there's no way now they're going to just do a Cabin in the Woods isolated horror story, like, for a long time, because they've sort of done it a bit here.
I think.
But that being said, it gave us, once again, an excuse to watch Bradley Walsh act his fucking socks off. And a return of a fan favourite, because she was bloody wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I'm going to say it now.
Okay.
Tosin Cole is the main, is the one of the four lead characters.
Yeah.
Who, as an actor, his approach is different to the other three. He's very television. Like, he's very...
I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to be blunt about it. He's the weak link in the cast.
Yeah, that's become evident by now. I don't think he's terrible, but when given certain situations, I wonder if he's focusing more on maintaining the accent over the character.
Maybe.
Because some of Ryan's surprise moments in this, he barely seemed fussed. He gets some really nice human stuff, and his issues with his dad were used in a non sort of, oh, and also this kind of way this week. Like, it was inbuilt. And we finally got the granddad moment that we were anticipating at some point.
Yeah,
we finally got the moment where he was just like,
"That was nice. That was really sweet. I like that."
Even if it's not for him, it's for Graham, and he gave it to him, and it was really sweet. And all it would have needed was a fist bump to solidify it.
Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get there. But Tosin was not fantastic this week.
No, and it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating.
Episode one, hands down, is my favourite performance.
Yeah.
Episode 1. And
I think he's got great. I think
friend of the show Guy mentioned it's weird that they didn't keep the YouTube thing going after episode 1.
Yeah, it'd be a neat framing device.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if they bookend the series with it.
Maybe. Oh, it's weird to think next week's the finale, but it doesn't feel like a finale. Which is good, I think, but at the same time, odd.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be a big, grand end thing. I just want it to be the end of the series.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I mean, a big strong story would be nice, just for a bit of spectacle of, oh shit,
Yeah, that's
the last
true.
one,
But I don't,
saved
I don't
saved
think
a bit of heightened stake for the last one. Like, fair enough.
I don't think we've had a problem with strong stories. So
True.
as long as we get another good story with an emotional core, I will be a happy man. I will be as happy as a frog on a chair.
We got the 2 versions of villains that the show has done this year rolled into one in this episode.
Yeah.
We got the living conscious alternate reality that was it wasn't malevolent, it wasn't nasty, it wasn't domineering or evil in any way. It just wanted to exist and get a taste of what real existence is.
I just want a mate.
Yeah, and essentially it was just like, I want one of you to say, you want 2 mates,
yes.
said the frog.
Yes.
Said the frog.
That is exactly what the frog said in that voice.
What does the frog say? But that's, that was great. So we got the villain with the grey area, albeit one who was going through things in kind of a creepy method, but I don't think it realised that.
No.
But we also got a Boo His villain with ribbons, which
yes.
I really liked. Creepy cannibal man, who, in probably the first shot of this series that made me go, when the moths moved away from him.
Yeah.
And the last one crawls out of his now gaping eye socket.
That was really nice and gnarly. I enjoyed that.
As this bluish hued, mostly nibbled up skeleton just lay there.
Yeah, that was
like,
good.
That was creepy. And the fact that all of his stuff was basically just cannibalism.
Yeah.
Like, all of his references were like, yeah, I'd like to eat you.
Tasty.
A couple of you are going to get killed off and then I'm going to eat you and take your gadget.
Delicious knowledge.
Delicious knowledge. Just proper freaky.
Yeah.
That was great.
Enjoyed that.
Gnarly looking knife made out of bones. Oh, God. Did you notice that when he put the knife down?
Yeah.
It was like a hip bone. That was...
Yeah.
Oh.
Cracking art design there. It's all in the details. All in the details.
Great. All the 6-legged rats around his waist.
Yeah.
I think this week was the worst offender of the weirdest trope this series has had.
Which is...
Every now and again, a character stops to tell you what you've just seen. It happens quite a lot in this one. The reflection was gone. He's got 6-legged rats on his belt. And there was a lot of that this week.
Yeah, I can't say it's something that I've picked up on.
Fair dues. I think if you revisit this series, you might... No, now I've said it, you might spot it.
Maybe. It's
very odd. It's happened a lot this series. Like things like something burst through the floor. It just burst through the floor. It's like, yeah, we saw that. You don't need to... It feels, some places the script feels a little hand-holdy. Almost like they're hoping to explain it to younger viewers, but in a way that isn't necessary because it's always hand-holdy off the back of a visual showing what they then say.
Yeah, I suppose.
So it's a bit odd, but this week was the worst offender for it. But I'll forgive it. I'll forgive it if I can just have a picture of Graham in a frame that says, "Oh, that's a nice looking fjord." Is it a fjord?
Yeah, there's a nice.
Yaz got stuck in a lot more this week, which I was very happy about.
Yeah. Loads of fuel for the Dr. Yaz shippers.
Yeah.
So much Dr. Yaz shipping fuel.
I think the Doctor's personality is pretty much solidified now.
Yep.
And I think we're looking at easily excitable child who every now and again remembers they're an adult.
Yeah.
Which I don't hate. Like, I kind of like it.
With a rock-solid moral core.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot this week of her being just very giddy and saying one-liners, but it's not in a place where it's like, oh, they're just trying to put some on a t-shirt. It was like, she's like a kid trying to impress someone.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's kind of cute.
Also, I can't wait till we get the episode about the Woolly Rebellion.
Oh God, that was such a weird line to open on. Can we talk about the frog in the room? I mean the
frog on the chair.
The elephant on the chair. I mean, yeah.
I liked the frog on the chair because it was just so weird.
I think I would. This is coming from the nitpickiest place in the world.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I spent 5 and a bit years of my life with very skilled puppeteers next to me day in, day out. They could have got the lip sync better on that fucking frog.
Oh yes, no doubt.
It was really jarring for me. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
It was a slightly ropey creature effect, but it didn't bother me.
Considering the CGI this series has been phenomenal, I would rather them use the CGI if their puppet skills are going to be like that.
It might not have been a skill thing. It might have been the puppet.
Maybe, but you don't film that one. Then you go away and you work on it and get those shots separately, and you use that for the wide.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just
I see where you're coming from.
Again,
I see,
the mental image was nice.
You're not the only one who's voiced that opinion, but honestly, I was cool with it because for me the visual was just so wonderfully and brilliantly incongruous.
Yeah, the triangular rafters of the house in white.
Yeah,
with nothing beyond them, leading to this chair
with a frog on it.
Frog sat on it, talking in Grace's voice,
and it straight up says, "Oh yeah, I like frogs."
Yeah.
So I'm a frog now, which is just fucking brilliant.
Right, fair enough.
So, and I think it's one of those, like, this is a show, I mean, not so much in its modern incarnation, but I have overlooked so many dodgy special effects for the lifetime of this show. Like, it's not going to start bothering me now, if I'm honest.
Fair enough.
Like, I get it.
Fair enough.
Also, you are someone right now on a fan wiki somewhere or a fan blog is being like, well, actually, the universe was unstable and breaking down, so that's why the movement of the frog was unnatural and not lip-synced. So, there you go.
Friend of the show, Phoenix, has just tweeted, in fact, complain all you want about the finale of a Doctor Who episode being a universe in the shape of a puppet frog. You lost. It's over. The episode aired with that glorious image in it. They win, and you all lose. Get wrecked, scrubs.
I love it. I just the absolute bonkersness of it. Oh, and also, the first time, certainly in Doctor Who's history, and probably one of the first times on television, where a blind character has been played by a blind actor.
Yes, yeah. Really good performance. Not the most solid in the episode, but like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She portrayed really well, like, the genuine confusion of a teen who has idolized their parents and hasn't quite realized that they're human yet.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff was fantastic. Some of her stuff, along with Ryan, wasn't the best, but as far as guest actors go, like, she pulled you the fuck in.
Yeah, Ryan was just kind of a dick in this for most of the episode.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not a fan of you, Ryan. You're being a bit of a dick.
Although I'll say this, one of the best bits of the episode was the one bit where the Doctor was, in front of everyone else, very serious.
Yeah.
Where she wrote out the map, unquote, on the wall, doing something which felt very duplicitous, very, very sinister for the Doctor to do that, because she was doing it for the sake of,
I think
what was the character called? Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah.
She was doing it for the sake of her safety.
I think
it was like, assume her father is dead, like writing that on the wall. So it was like, oh god, but I think the standout moment for the episode, frog and all, I think the standout moment for the episode was just, I don't know about you, but I was watching Bradley Walsh's face the moment the alternate Grace said he'll like, about Ryan, he'll be fine, he can look out for himself.
Yeah.
His face didn't change very much, but you could just see the character realise that's not her.
Well, even before that, you see him start to doubt it when they mention that Ryan's still there, but she's begging him to stay with her. Yeah. You can see that he's already sort of, this isn't thinking, right.
And then that's the cincher. Like, that's the thing that makes him go, this isn't right. I have to go. Like, this isn't her. And it's so wonderfully done. And essentially ending the episode on just him being called Grandad and looking out over a fjord and smiling and going back to the TARDIS. I think everybody's doing a great job overall. But I think Graham is probably the strongest thing to come out of this series. And Bradley Walsh's performance is probably the strongest performance in the series at the minute.
Yeah, probably.
Mostly because he's being given more to do.
Yeah, I think he does have an advantage in the fact that he's just getting more to do.
Yeah. I mean, for Christ's sake, he packs a cheese and pickle sandwich in his pocket.
An emergency cheese and pickle sandwich.
Partly because his blood sugar goes down, mostly because he's annoyed that they don't stop off for food often enough. That was wonderful. That was such a wonderfully mad thing.
It's so good.
It's some Graham.
I love this show so much.
I'm going to be sad to see them go next week, but at least we only have to wait like 3 weeks after that to see them again.
Yes. So
there is that.
Down for that. I may or not be with company for next week's episode. Oh yes.
Why? What company?
I will be. I shall be in the fine company of some fellow Who fans for the finale.
Say no more.
So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm also looking
for you to join the channel. Don't. It's a sinking ship. Get out of there.
Oh no. It's over.
Oh god! Imagine if you turned up in the final video. Anyway,
it's me, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but you know what else I'm looking forward to?
My Man Meets.
The end of this episode, so I can go to bed.
Yeah, that's
but
good.
first,
I'm on early tomorrow.
Yes, but first we've got an email.
Gotcha.
We've got an email to do first.
You're a valiant man.
Yes. Well, you're opening a show,
woman.
so you know it swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, I've got to stay up now and write couplets.
So this one comes in from Tom Monty. And this is his reaction to It Takes You Away. It Takes You Away. And he says, Dear Chris and Matt, I'm not going to sing the email, I can't be asked. Frog to Who.
Nice.
The setup was strong, but after they went through the mirror, I thought it all fell to pieces. And I had no idea what Ribbons was meant to be and what his intentions were and why he wanted the Sonic so much and why he was willing to die for it. Also, what was the point of including the string if they could just find their way back there with no consequences to it being cut? The solution to the episode was so poor. Just the Doctor figuring it out all in her head. It all just came to her. To sum it up, Deus Ex Machina. And I'm not really a fan of all these new backstories about the Doctor, i.e. I had 7 grannies or long time since I bought women's clothes. I hate to say it, but as we come to the end of the series, I've not been impressed by the writing nor the Doctor. I think it's a miscast, not because she's a woman. 9 episodes in and not a single one has stood out. For me, the qualities range from awful to average at best. I'm hoping I feel different about the finale, otherwise this will be the first New Who series that hasn't had at least one episode I've loved other than Series 8. Questions. What did you think of the frog? I think the effects team could have done a better job with the mouth movements lining up with what it was saying. Yeah, I think we've covered that.
I agree there. I think that it was a really nice looking puppet, but they
maybe not as posable as it could have been. Yeah.
Once it came to the close-ups of it and its mouth was not moving in sync to the dialogue, I was pretty upset about that.
Yeah, that was. But you don't know what stage of the production failed there, so it's difficult to say exactly what went wrong. Are you expecting something big in the finale? I think there's got to be something familiar, otherwise more disappointment.
Well, in the YouTube afterwards TV trailer, TV spot, there is a female voice talking to presumably the character we saw, the gentleman who looked panicked and was holding a gun.
Yes.
It was an older lady's voice. And at the end of the trailer, not necessarily in reference to that voice, but possibly the Doctor's looking off screen saying, I know that voice, and that's the end of the trailer. So I wouldn't be surprised if for the final week they did go, here's something from the past of the show, guys.
It's the Rani!
No, but you know what I mean? Like, we're going to tell a story using something that long-term fans will go, oh, that's awesome, and we're going to reintroduce it for new fans.
I'm not going to lie, I'd be down for that, but at the same time...
at the same time, I also wouldn't be surprised if they didn't bring anything new in, and I would also be fine with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't...
I'd bring anything old in, and I would also be fine with that.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I would not be disappointed, so I'm down for it. Whatever they've got.
I'm down to clown.
After watching 9 episodes, do you think this series has benefited from only being 10 episodes long? I think it was fine at 12 and even better at 13. Apologies for all the negativity, but I just had really high hopes for Series 11. Love, Tom Monty.
Wah, wah, wah.
I have not...
I'm sad. I'm sad you're not enjoying it,
Yeah.
Tom. I wish you could. I get it though. Sometimes you just don't get stuff, and that or enjoy stuff, and that's fine.
Because I'm really enjoying this season. It's the first time I've really loved the show for a long time, like since season 7 or 8.
Yeah,
that's the first time I've been like, oh, this is great stuff, rather than Doctor Who's on. Like to the point where I didn't even watch all of Capaldi's episodes. Like I just couldn't be bothered because it'd become a chore. Watching my favourite TV show had become a chore. And I haven't felt that about this series at all. I've been excited for it. So, yeah. As to the length of it, TV budgets are difficult.
I'm fine with 10.
Yeah,
I'm fine with 10. If they get to look this gorgeous, I'm more than happy for 10.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about there not being a new series till 2020. Has that been confirmed officially? I've seen
not been confirmed. No. I've heard rumblings like inside about scheduling stuff. I'd rather not say because it's not my place, but I wouldn't be surprised if we weren't seeing another one till at least a year from now.
And honestly,
but I also think it's very much within them to bring one out sooner than that. So it's more a watch this space thing.
Well, the thing is that I have no.
They're not keeping a release date back from everyone.
Yeah.
On purpose. I think it's an ongoing decision.
Well, they announced the release date of this season very, very late. So But I think I have no way of knowing if this is the case. This is purely conjecture on my part, but I would think that there was more riding on this season of the show being a success than is publicly known.
Yeah,
I honestly think
I can assure you, not for knowing anything official, but I can assure you that would be very, very much true, considering how much of a shift there was.
Yeah, the fact that they shifted to 10 episodes, there was probably a big budget cut, hence the smaller season. That I think the reaction to the Capaldi era was so mixed to poor that if this had not been as popular as it's turned out to be, and I know there is a lot of people who don't like it because they keep shouting very loud about how they don't like it, as they always do. People are entitled to their opinion, but there are people who don't like it because they don't like it, and there are people who don't like it because it's got women in it. So there's two different camps there, and one of those camps I'm not on board with. The other one, I can get down with you. We can talk about this. Guess which one's which. I honestly think if this series had not gone down as well as it has, apparently, seemingly, in terms of viewership and audience and reaction, I think we might not be seeing any more Doctor Who for a long time. But I would hope that, I don't think it's been confirmed yet, has it? But I would hope that there's another series coming after this, and the fact that the show's future, well, the fact, my belief that the show's future was riding so heavily on this season is why there's a big gap.
Yeah. I'll say this, I'd be fine with 10 episode seasons going forward, but it'd be nice if we got at least 1 2-parter. That would be nice.
Yeah, just to give
I'd like to see this team in a longer story.
A big story that gets a bit more room to breathe.
Yeah.
Because I think 45-minute drama has been solidified as a format for long enough now that people can get those stories in and out. But
American television in the 90s kind of secured it as a thing.
But sometimes you just want to stretch out a little bit.
Yeah.
So
and cliffhangers, it'd be nice to get a few more, considering this is one of the shows that popularized it and was used as a big example of it being a good storytelling device for a long time.
And we don't get the pre-credits anymore, so we don't get that cliffhanger. But I'll take what I can get. These are minor quibbles. Like, if I really want to see ridiculous pre-credits cliffhangers, I can just go and watch The Ambassadors of Death. That's the only story they did that in, and it's fucking awful. It's really weird. and I don't
isn't
like
great,
it.
is it?
But I've
isn't
still
great,
got
is it?
4 episodes of it to watch, or is it 3?
Oh my god, is it you on your first watch of it?
Yeah, I've never seen it
It's
before.
a 7-episode run, isn't it?
To the point, yeah, all of that, because all of season 7 apart from Spearhead was 7-parters, because it was a budget thing, because the future of the show was so uncertain, and so heavily banking on the success of that season that they had much less budget, so they did longer stories, so they could reuse sets and things like that.
4 longer tales.
Yeah,
they could keep using the same sets and locations and costumes for weeks. Bloody
yeah.
hell. But also John. So
yes, so much John. But yeah, Ambassadors of Death is fucking weird, man.
Look at the gentleman in the spacesuit. I'm going to chop him on the neck.
But yeah. Anyway, that's Doctor Who for this week. That's the podcast for this week.
What's in Sam Hill?
We will be back next week for number 129 with an as yet undecided range of topics and news. The news mainly because it hasn't happened yet. But until then, you can of course, as always, reach us on bigdamcontact@gmail.com, at bigdamcast on Twitter. Keep an eye on the YouTube because I should, touch wood, hopefully, be finishing...
Don't do that because we'll get demonetized.
Hey.
Touch wood on YouTube.
Hopefully I'll be finishing Shadow of the Colossus this week.
Really?
I've got 3 more Colossi to defeat. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to get it done this week. And then I'm going to get all international, and I'm gonna go all Japanese with Yakuza 4 after I've done Shadow of the Colossus. So
nice. Cool. Yeah, cool.
So so hopefully I'll get that finished this week, and we'll get some Japan on the week after. And then it'll be Christmas before we know it, won't it? Christopher, you open. You'll have opened by the time this goes out.
Yeah, by the time this goes out, we'll have done a week of school shows, and if you're listening to this on Thursday, we're about to have opening night tomorrow. If you're listening to this on YouTube on Friday, hey, guess what? I'm on stage right now.
Hey! Tell the good people where they can buy tickets if they should wish to.
If you wish to travel to Lincoln to watch me prat about in a hellscape of my own making, New Theatre Royal Lincoln.co.uk is where you can buy tickets to Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, starring me and X Factor's Amelia Lilly, who's bloody brilliant.
Hey!
And Barney Harwood from the Pranker Patrol and the Blue Peter.
The Blue Peter.
And a wonderful, wonderful cast with some amazing dancing and fantastic singing.
Sorry, what was that?
And fantastic singing.
Just checking.
And if you ever wanted to see some like aerial ribbon acrobatics in a theatre that will blow your freaking mind, come and watch this show.
Oh, I'm intrigued now.
Yeah, do you remember the fire breathing last year?
Yeah.
They've decided that they're going to keep like putting something in every year that'll make you go, wait, they did not just fucking do that.
Neat. So, I'm looking forward to that
then. Yes, and for those who are just sort of on the CBBC Ed posting side of it all, who were like, I want to come see it for you and Barney. We're not the only CBBC people who make an appearance. Come along, you little shits.
Come along, you little shits. See you next time, fuckers. Let's neg our audience. See how that works for us. Okay, guys and gals, and those of fluid gender. See you next time. Bye-bye.